YouTube horror is a dying breed nowadays. I feel like I'm not the only one of this opinion, especially as of modern internet horror. Most internet horror seems to follow the same tropes every single time, and frankly, it's starting to become tiring. That's not to say the genre is bad, or that you are a simpleton for liking it, but you can't deny the normal face into stretched out uncanny valley starts to become a little ridiculous after it's done like 100 times. But what I do have a soft spot for is the earlier era of internet horror. Think Username 666, Marble Hornets, Shay St. John, kinda not really intentionally creepy. Among other things. I guess it's just the time period these videos were released in that made them more ominous to me. Not to mention I started following down these rabbit holes when I was like 9. Like I said, I have a soft spot for this kind of horror, and it may be a little ridiculous at times, but a lot of these old horror videos just resonate with me, I don't know. But before I get into the giant armless elephant in the room, I think I should explain where I even found this channel at. So do you guys know Chills?
Number 15.
Well, he was a narrator for the channel Top 15s for a long period of time, and I'm sure he still does do it today. Although iconic in his own right, the Top 15 channel is host to a lot of scary-based content. And the series, Scariest YouTube Videos with Links, is a good example of this. I don't think I really need to explain what the series is about, as it's kind of obvious from the title. But in part 2, I was subjected to the topic of today, found on the tape. More specifically, its most iconic video, clip094.mp4. And that's where our story begins. But before we get into the topic of the video, my name is Carbon and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at IHateInstagram plus a ligma and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, then go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number 1 entry. Also, follow me on Blue Sky at Sparky Does Things because that's where I post literally nothing important. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new video I upload every 2 weeks. Okay, jokes aside, please subscribe. That's it. Bye. So, where do I even begin? I guess I should start with, in my opinion, the channel's poster child. And it's not hard to see. It's the one with the scary fucking staircase monster in it. Also, it's like the first video they made. This video, in my opinion, is a masterclass of just being really uncanny. The video starts with a blue play-up screen, mostly just kind of showing us that clip 94 is a VHS. Assuming that this is a person, maybe us, putting the tape into the VCR. Now with the actual clip we're subjected to, it starts with a person's legs in the top corner, before a rough cut to this creepy fucking record player. This thing has always gave me the creeps, and frankly, I don't quite understand why. I always imagined it was like a weird fleshy thing, like it was tearing at flesh, so that's why I kind of always thought it was off-putting, even if it never really was anything that major. This record player doesn't even come back, it's not important to this narrative at all. And the other scenes don't really give us too much to the narrative at all either. But then we get the channel's main course, this scene. A woman is at the bottom of a staircase, and assumedly she's talking to someone. But then the camera begins to move, and BAM! We get this freak of nature. I'll call them Sherwin Williams. Sherwin isn't on screen for too long, but from what I could gather, it's either a dead body or a creature just oozing a dark liquid. But as of now, we have no context. So, let's move on to the next clip. Clip 95 is more of the same, containing the same person at the beginning of 94, and showcasing a man being recorded. Then, we get showcased a dark room with a random wheel that I will get back to. The most interesting part is this armless lady that walks around before kind of having a jump scare. I think what's interesting is the similarities between her face and Sherwin, although I do not think there is any relation between the two, but we'll get back to that. Clip 84.mp4 is filled with shots of interesting things. One shot has color now, that being one set in a tunnel, which, in my opinion, is super odd. Then we get a silo spilling out dark liquid, which then cuts to a cave that's being traversed. A pipe is shown, more Shiloh shit with a triangle in the top corner, which I will be back to. Then a map for the Earth Tunnel Complex, before finally ending in a silhouette that also has no arms. And as of now, those are the only videos showcased on this channel, and I think you guys can understand how just cryptic this channel is. I mean, at a cursory glance, none of this makes sense. So, what now? Well, remember that wheel in tape 95? Well, that's actually code to be solved. And when people solved it, it gave them access to a Megalink page, which allowed them to download the first Gmod map of the video. This map puts you into this bleak room, and frankly, there isn't much to note because it seems that the camera is perfectly locked into one position. You can kind of just traverse the area while an ominous shepherd tone plays. If it hasn't been beaten over your head, a shepherd's tone is one that sounds like it's constantly descending. I'm sure you've heard of one, so I won't stick to this. Soon enough, you discover the exit passageway, and you will be jump scared by Sherwin Williams. This is very of the time. But we aren't quite done. We get a post from Found on the Tape reading, "Hey you, any source outside of or not referenced by the Found on the Tape YouTube channel is not affiliated with us, including any Twitter channels or external." Which then by the end becomes a garbled mess of text at the bottom, which when deciphered gives you an email address. And when emailed, you would get a response repeating "I'm stuck" while also giving you map number 2. Map number 2 is a vent maze where you have to traverse this gray mess. And if you make a wrong turn, the entire game rumbles. Not only that, you aren't alone in these vents. And what are you being chased by? Oh, just this armless fucker. You may start to notice a specific pattern with everything involving this ARG. This map will end with you making a long drop down the vent and dying. After this discovery, video 3 was put up, and after video 3, the third map was discovered after a few people got access to it after emailing the Found on the Tape email. This third map is very interesting. You are thrown into a maze like the last time, but you are very clearly in areas shown in the third tape. You can best see this with the pipe here and the pipe in the video. Eventually, you'll find the first map, hidden away with boxes and junk. Thankfully, no jump scare here because you can exit the room, which leads you to a vent maze that ends with you falling and dying like in map 2. This really implies the impossibility of leaving these tunnels and that you are doomed to no matter what you do, whether it be from your own doing or from any of these monsters. The final map was revealed through binary, and this is the biggest maze yet, but I fear there isn't much to talk about. You notice a bunch of mangled bodies as if they were recently killed, and soon you make it to a drop before the final chase begins. It's hard to make out what the monster is, but when you reach the end, you see the ladder. And there's no escape because the ladder cuts off. So what is chasing you? Well, it's this thing. And just like everything else, it's another armless creature. Not only that, if you look at the face of this armless creature, you might notice the similarities between it and Sherwin Williams. I am of the belief that this is Sherwin Williams and that Sherwin Williams isn't a corpse at all, and it's actually just this armless creature. Whether that first part in the staircase is the showcase of what happened, or just the creature stalking its prey, I have no idea. So, that's kind of up to you. So, what do I think? Well, before I get to my thoughts, my name is Carbon and I hope you're
Carbon, get back on topic. You did this joke already. It was not funny the first time.
Oh, well, fuck you too. Okay, stupid shit aside, what do I think? Well, let's look at the questions that I've built up. Who is making these tapes? Who are the armless creatures, and what do they want? What is the answer to the triangle puzzle? How is the Earth Tunnel Complex relevant to the ARG? I cannot say for certain I have any solid answers, besides maybe for the last two. I feel confident in what they are implied to be about, especially with the triangle puzzle. As I researched further, it turns out this triangle puzzle was actually solved a while ago, and it gives you the special code. I'm still stuck here. Email tape on the. This will be important to my theory. The Earth Tunnel Complex is just where all the maps are set in, or at least a representation of where they are set in, because both are tunnel systems and seem to be expansive and inescapable. Given how there seems to be constant tunnels and mazes, I can see that this map is either meant to be the exact place or a representation of where all the Gmod games are taking place in. The first two questions are a bit more tricky to answer and are most definitely up to interpretation, but I have some theories that could satisfy this. Theory number 1. This ARG is made by someone with the intention to warn us of the Earth Tunnel Complex, or any unnamed tunnel system, by showcasing the beings that reside within the tunnels and showing how violent they are. It's hard to gather how accurate this theory is, but looking at it from a broader sense, I personally feel like it would fit the ARG. The reason I came up with this theory is due to the fact that we are given a lot of information about these tunnels and countless amount of bodies in the vents, and the skeleton in map 1 really shows how these tunnels are essentially a death trap. Another thing that points to the idea of these tunnels being a death trap is how many maps end in you dying, whether it be by your own legs or being taken out by one of the armless monstrosities chasing you. All these tapes are very vague, but a common theme in the tapes seems to be 1. Armless monsters, which provide something that is a sense of danger and possibly used to scare you, the viewer, away from the tunnels. And 2, a general common theme of kind of cramped spaces. In the first clip, we have that elevator scene. The second clip doesn't really have much to this notion, so I probably should skip that. And the third clip has all these tunnel systems, which, assuming that they're very similar to the vents, are also very cramped for space. But this theory is heavily up to your interpretation of the tapes, but I think it could be a solution to the problem at hand. But that's just theory 1, moving on to theory number 2. These videos are by one of the armless, or someone trapped in the tunnel system that desperately needs help and seems to be most likely a victim of a potential serial killer. This one could work in tandem with the first, but I feel like this one has more proof backing it, so it works as a solo theory on its own. The first piece of evidence that I have is all of the talk from the Found on the Tape channel, which always seems to say, "I'm stuck," or "I'm still stuck." I think the email reply and the code from Clip 084 are super important because of what they include alongside the text "I'm stuck." If you remember, it's those Gmod maps that depict abandoned tunnels that the armless seem to reside in. Oh, but that's not all. What is a common spot in Clip 084 is this cave system that is very much a tunnel. Not only that, the pipe shown is from map 3, and given the previous circumstances, I think the person uploading finally gets fully through to showing their surroundings by cutting the already existing tape footage. In the first video, there's nothing of substance, just random footage with a scare at the end. The second video has a cipher that leads to the first map, which shows a spot that exists in map 3, so assuming that the person put it in there, it would have to be the person that I'm theorizing is trapped in there. I also believe that this person is aware that the only way to escape is by death, given that the maps depict either death by an armless person or via the long drops of the vents. Do I believe this is the true purpose of the channel? Absolutely not. The series is super vague and provides very little information. Do I think there is at least a chance that I could be correct on either of these? Yes, I think all of the evidence at my disposal provides a compelling argument that either of these are the case. the I'm still stuck messages, the maps, the map of the tunnel system, the decodable puzzles, all of that. And there isn't much to go off from here. So I guess I will just kind of go over other interesting things I found in my research. This is my excuse to talk about Violet Procyon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which, you may have noticed, has provided some of the content that I have acquired that played as background footage at points. But anyways, they made a series of found on the tape archival footage. When I first saw this channel, I genuinely thought that they might have been associated with, or, even more or less likely, the person who made the ARG in the first place. I had no evidence of this, but I thought it would be a fun idea, and I planned on ending this video with this revelation. But then I realized they had uploaded pretty recently, and furthermore, they had an email I could contact. So, I decided to do what any normal person does, and I contacted them. They did get back to me pretty fast, which is super cool, and they told me the obvious, that they have no idea who Found on the Tape is, and that it is still a mystery. I thanked them for their response and requested the ability to use their archival footage in this video, and they so graciously told me that I was allowed to use it. So, Violet, if you're somehow seeing this video, thank you so much for allowing me to use them in this video. I hope you're doing well. So, is that it? No, one more thing. No, wait. Don't get mad at me for dragging this video out, because I'm not trying to, but I found this on the r/Found on the Tape subreddit on the most recent post, which is a repost in regards to a Twitter account that might be associated with Found on the Tape. The person who made this post is in the r/ARG board and goes by the name u/Trekken, whatever, which mentions a random Twitter account the Found on the Tape Twitter account was following. They followed the account and got a bunch of cryptic messages. What is the validity of this? I don't particularly trust this post. The account is unavailable now, which means it could full well mean it just never existed and it was all lies. Not only that, there is no direct ties to Found on the Tape and the Twitter account Found on the Tape besides the name. I also forgot to mention that there's also the post that Found on the Tape made that says any Twitter accounts would not be associated unless stated otherwise. So, no other statement means it's most likely not true. I could be wrong about this, feel free to correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And honestly, given how this post was made 4 years ago, it is highly unlikely it is in relation to the channel that hasn't made any sort of updates since 2011. So overall, nah, not related in any way. But if I'm wrong, I would love to be proven wrong. It means more content I can stick my teeth into. And that is really all I have to say when it comes to this channel. It has been one of my favorite spooky channels from the older age of YouTube. It kind of makes no sense and is super vague, and that's kind of why I like it. I also quite enjoy the solutions to the mysteries, using some unique codes along the way, especially the triangle one. The Gmod maps are super intriguing, and is much different from any other horror-related ARG that I've seen. And overall, this channel is just kind of fun. But that is all I have to say in regards to this channel. And I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. I know this isn't my normal video game content, but like the Here's Johnny video, I don't want to just be known as like the Kirby guy or someone who only cares for video games, because I have a ton of different interests. But don't worry, the next video is most likely to be another video about a game. So stick around, because there's more where that content came from. Anyways, my name is Carbon, and I hope this video ripped your arms off. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Some other time, and don't overdo it. Watch your calories.
Don't you tell me how many calories I need, bitch!
Oh.